What's up, your boy Scotty Flow here from Power Surge World, and today's analysis is of Scott Kazmir, current free agent here with Oakland A's. This is 2014 footage. So let's get started. So this is when Kazmir is throwing like low to mid 90s. This is when before, like earlier his career when he was throwing mid to high 90s, or now. Or middle career when he's throwing like mid to high 80s. This is typically where he is now. He hasn't really changed in the past year. Alright, so let's just look at his full delivery. So he really attacks. You see he's really attacking forward. He's quick hips, good hip to shoulder separation, and that's why he throws low to mid 90s. And if you also see him, he's not really that biggest guy in the world. So he really needs to be especially quick to throw this hard. He has to get every ounce of his 6 foot, 185 pound frame if he really wants to throw 90 plus miles per hour. So let's first get him into lift leg. So he's from the stretch, so he's not really lifting his leg that much. So if we go right here, you see though, like from the second he lifts his leg, if you look at his let's magnify on his front foot. The second he lifts it, you see his hips are going forward. Watch his hips. You see his front foot goes up, and now his hips are going forward. Let's zoom in on his hips. See, front foot up, hips going forward. So you can see he wastes no time. He can't waste any time because he's a relatively small guy, and this is why he's able to throw 90 plus miles per hour. So this is him in lift leg. So you see almost immediately, let's just look at the beginning. Yeah. So almost immediately he starts attacking forward with his hips. He leans back a little. So here he's really building great momentum off the mound. He's staying slightly closed with his upper body, which is good. And this is a great position to throw hard. Now let's keep going. So here, let's take him right before explosion. Also though, he breaks his hands a little early. That's why he has to go up. See, he has a long arm. I don't really like that loopy of an arm. Maybe he breaks his hands slightly earlier. I mean, so decent arm action. But, so let's take him into load. So he's loaded right about here. Yeah, right here. This is load. So he does a really good job at attacking the mound, and he also does a good job if you watch his back leg. You see, it's always he gets great torsion, which his knees always stays back. His knee always stays externally rotated. You see, even though it's externally rotated until he explodes off the mound. You see now he's internally rotating, but right before he explodes, he keeps it externally rotated. So this just shows that Kazmir has even though he's a small guy, yes, but he probably has a very high strength to weight ratio where he's going so fast, but he's going so fast off the mound, but he's able to control his body through all this. You can see with his lift leg. He's strong enough to control his body through space. So now let's take him to explosion. So see, he does a really good job. He's exploding out. He lands here. Settles here. This is really optimal hip to shoulder separation. You can see his back leg is completely extended. His hips are open, his shoulders are closed. Let's look at it again. So he's loaded back. I think what he really does well, what he excels at, like I said before, is the torsion. Look at his back knee. His back knee stays back the whole time, till the last second, until the timing too of hip to shoulder separation. That he literally waits till the last second. He's loaded up until from here. He starts loading, and now he starts exploding in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, like 4 or 5 frames. Really from here, right when he's about to, if he's not exploding, he's going to land. that he just explodes into it. You see that? He's exploding into the ground really well. Alright, one more time. You see he's loaded back. And now, at the last second, he explodes open, really extends his back leg really well, and times his arm too, where he lands, his hips open, his shoulders close. So here, explosion, his arm is loading back, and then he flips his arm up at the last second, so she gets optimal hip to shoulder separation. Alright, now let's take him to chest thrust. So, he has a pretty long stride, you can see right here. You see how far his, you see the angle of his knee? I'll show you right here. The angle of his knee is, it's more at a right angle, closer to a right angle, probably like 80 degrees or so. 80 degrees probably. And optimally, like, I would rather have him land like here, more vertical, because you can see, because his leg is so bent, then he struggles a little to get through his front side. You can see right here. She's trying to rotating through. That it's not really exploding through. It's more of a rotation. So he's here, and now he is because he has such a really long stride. Maybe his lift leg actually goes out a little too early. It's actually a little too fast, in my opinion. And because of that, when he lands, his front leg is so out in front of his body, he's just struggling to get past his front side. See, he's here. He's just rotating through. I mean, yeah, he explodes, so he's able to get through well. But you can see that optimally, let's see when he releases the ball. Like, he still has two more. You want a straight leg, and this is when pitch release, like you see his front leg is a little bent. Optimally, you want to land here. He's 2 frames late. So personally, in my opinion, I think if he works on that, he'll be able to get back to a mid to high 90s guy. And even, let's see, I have footage here of his high school days when he was throwing mid to high 90s. So let's see if he does something different. Let's fast forward a little bit. Let's just take him to when he lands. So he's loaded. He lands here. As you see in this video, his front side is it's still low and still out in front of his body, but it's actually a little less. Before it was like 80 degrees, now he's more like 65, 70 degrees with his front side. So then let's see in pitch release, he gets better chest thrust because of that. And when he releases the ball, right here to here, like this is probably the frame where he stopped last time. You see he's much more out in front of his body. Let's split screen. Yeah. So you could see that in this video, just rewind it, that he attacks forward a little bit better. He loads quicker. So you see his front leg doesn't, because he loads quicker down, his front side isn't really controlling him that much. And then when he explodes out, he gets more momentum through his front side. You see he's leaned forward a little more with his shoulders. You see his shoulders a little more forward. And he gets more chest thrust. You see his chest is over his front side more. Before it was actually behind. So when he throws the ball, he's able to get over his front side and throw like 3 to 5 miles per hour harder. So this is in the high school days. He's probably this is when he was 175. He's listed at 185 now. This is a perfect game video. In perfect game, he's listed at 6 feet 175, and he's probably quicker back then. He ran a 6.8340, I believe, or he ran a 6.7940, 60. Sorry. And to put that in perspective, Jason Hayward, yes, that Jason Hayward in high school, he ran a 6.83 60-yard dash according to perfect game. So Scott Kazmir was extremely, like, anything under 7 is good, especially like 6'8". That's a slight level below elite. So Scott Kazmir is obviously very athletic through high school. I'm sure he's still very athletic, but probably not as quick as he was in high school. And because of that, he was able to throw a little bit harder. So, and also if, like, let's say I was his pitching coach, I would, like, I would focus more on speed, because he's more of a speed guy. He's more in the speed structure, and then maybe if he gets a little bit faster, then he'll be able to throw a little bit harder. Like, I want to see, it would also be interesting to see footage, like, see his height and weight when he was in Anaheim with the Angels, when he was topping out at 85 miles per hour. Maybe he weighed a little bit more. I'm sure he was a lot slower in his delivery. So that about wraps it up. Just sum everything up. Kazmir still has really good mechanics. He gets optimal hip to shoulder separation. He keeps his gets optimal torsion with his back side, but some things he could work on is his front side goes a little too fast. He can load his backside more. You can see in this video, he's really attacking forward more with his hips. He's going faster off the mound, even though he went pretty fast before. And because of that, he's able to throw a little bit harder, so you get more chest thrust. And you can see here, because his back leg extends out a lot quicker. So that sums it all up. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like, comment, subscribe. Let's go for 50 likes. Scotty Flow out.